Okay, so just to go through your Persians, I'm Greeks. Phalanx here, I have some skirmishers, foot skirmishers, light cavalry, my companion cavalry, my hoplites over here, and then general and king. And then you have out front chariots, foot skirmishers, horse skirmishers, heavy cav, your heavy foot that also have bows, your king, your general, and then you have the war bands back there that are actually levies. So can you grab that bag over there? So we've got our initiative dice all figured out. So we dump those in. All right, so first in turn sequence is the initiative pool, which we've already done. The next phase is the morale phase. Both of our armies start at an army stress of 1, so which is low. So that was a change of phrase. It's not army morale, it's army stress. And then now we go into shooting, which none of us have shooting because shooting ranges are out to 8 inches. All the combat stuff is on the back. Okay. So the other thing to remember too is down here I kind of changed the wording. So this is how you can use your dice in each one of your in the phases. Okay, so morale is always by a draw. Like I have to draw the dice out in order for you to use it. Shooting, I draw for activations. However, if you want to use your dice for bonuses, then it's a take it out. Take it out. So same thing with movement, activations. You can hold those back for bonuses in combat or charge reactions if you kind of want to keep me guessing. Or you can also take for bonuses to combat, bonuses to activation rolls or charge reactions, okay?
Yep.
So just remember, when you do activate, you have to use all the dice that you have held, though. You can't activate and continue to hold dice. You have to use all the dice that you've held up to that point. And then for sustained combat, we don't actually draw any dice for that. All we do is we do the bonus, and it's based on who has the lowest army stress. They get to pick first, and then we go
But
back
it does take a die. I have to draw a dice for that to sustain that combat.
No.
You don't have to draw dice.
No. Sustained combats, they're already combats, so nobody has to charge in or anything. So we just fight those out. Okay?
And the only thing I use it for is bonus.
Yes. So I dump out all the dice basically, and then we just use up our dice to give us our bonuses and things like that. Yep. Okay.
Clears mud again.
All right, so we are into movement phases. Hold that.
Hold mine.
I'm going to use my 3, and I'm going to roll my skirmishers. So I can discard the lowest since I added an extra die in, which it's still the lowest. So half. Yeah. Just 2 inches. All right.
Nope.
I'm going to move.
Okay. Watch it on
Move my skirmishers.
there. Your foot skirmishers?
Yep, foot skirmishers. And so,
All 4 of them, right?
yep, 4 dice, roll.
You can take the lowest, so you move half.
Which is 2 inches.
And you said these skirmishers, right?
Yeah. How about these guys? Can they move?
They can move through, but they can't land on top. So it's fine. You can push them in front.
So they can go like that?
Yeah, that's fine. But just know in the future you're not supposed to. Okay. So you can put your initiative dice in the box. I'm going to activate my companions over here. Yeah, I'm going to activate my companions. Discard. I'm just really activating this one. So he is going to move to the side like that.
Move these guys.
Okay. Skirmishers.
Yep. Half move.
Yep. 5 inches for them. Up to 5 if you want. Which is one more than that.
Yep. I don't want. Okay. I guess it doesn't hurt to pick these up like that, does it?
No, it's fine.
Now I think I can move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
The problem is you're going to have is these guys.
Are going to be in the way. But I can still move up right up behind them.
Yeah. And you should be able to.
Yeah.
Are you moving your leader as well? Your king?
Yeah. Well, I need one more die for that though.
Yeah.
So there it is. All right. So I'm discarding the lowest.
Yeah, you take the highest. You don't discard any.
6.
Yep.
So all I'm doing is moving up to here.
You can discard your dice into your box.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to move my flange lights with my leader, so I took the highest.
I'll move my leader.
Wait, you should have moved your leader last
Well, I
time.
didn't have 7 dice. I
Okay,
had
yeah.
6.
I gave you an extra one there.
Oh, okay.
Hold an extra one. So you still have a dice in your hand.
Yeah.
So you can pull it out of there, out of your box. And this is leader let, so I can move up to a 6, or actually a 4.
I'm gonna move these guys.
Okay. You take the lowest, which is 3, so it's a half move. Up to 2. I'm done with movement.
Should be 3 left. Is it?
Oh, you got more than 3.
I can't use 3 for anything more than 3.
Okay.
That's a full movement, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. You could actually technically move through your skirmishers because you can move up to 8. No, you can move up to 6 with your heavy cavalry. So the only thing you gotta keep watch on is like those guys.
Moving.
Yeah. And you move your leader, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other movement?
No, I'm done.
Okay. So then we go into sustained combat, which nobody has any sustained combat. So turn 1 is done. So I believe now we just go back in. Shouldn't be any changes to our finish this.
I'm gonna move these skirmishers.
Okay.
With bows, correct?
Yep.
Half movement.
Yep.
So how do I ever get them back together?
You can. Yeah. You can mix them up to do that. I activate my skirmishers and withdraw the lowest. So half move.
I'm gonna move these 3.
Just those 3.
Yeah. Half move.
Leader led. So
Yeah. This one is.
you have to have 4 dice.
Give me another dice. You pick it out, right? All right. Still half move.
No, you take the highest. So you can do a full move.
Which is 4 inches.
You just know you can't charge your
Cavalry.
these guys through.
Through any of these.
Yeah.
Okay.
Activate these 4 over here. And remove.
these guys. Okay. Half move. I'll move these three guys. Okay, I want to actually move these guys over to here.
Mm-hmm.
So can I probably need to do it this way.
Yeah. So
Probably this way.
yeah. So you're just trying to kind of echelon, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to turn that far though.
Now this guy would be right there,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to move him back to here.
Right. So you really can't do that. You can't move backwards. So you can do that and wheel the rest of these guys there. If you want, you can move them all sideways.
I'd have to do that first, and then would I have movement?
No, you'd have 2 inches that way.
Or if I moved them 1 inch,
No, that's fine. Yeah.
and then would I have room to?
No,
No,
that's just
didn't do anything.
yeah. So it's very restricted movement because you're dealing with
Huge armies.
huge armies on this. All right, I think I got enough here to move everybody. Yep. Moving all my flangelets. Taking a heist. Moving up behind my skirmishers. All right.
I'll move these two.
Okay.
Full movement.
Yep.
Full movement's 4 inches, right?
Well, for them it's 10.
10. So do they have room to do that?
Yeah. Activate these two. Actually activate them for a charge. So full movements, 8 inches. Move straight ahead. So he contacts there, and we'll turn like that. And
So how are those guys able to move full 6 inches and they're not leader led?
because I rolled 4 dice
Mm-hmm.
instead of the 2, and I was able to discard the lowest 2, which left me with
A 6 and a 5.
5 and a 6. So, all right. So we have this is the first combat here. So it's really just this here, because this half of the base and over half of my base, the center of the base and over half of my base is contacting here. So this is the combat.
This isn't.
This isn't. This will. Both of us will help each other, but yeah. Okay. So if you flip over, So the first thing we do is we add up the number of dice. So I'm a full base, so I have 6 dice. And you're a half base, so you get 3 dice. All right. Are you going to add any of your dice to the combat? Out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many?
How many's in there?
A lot.
Give me 2 each.
It's just
1 each.
It's just this base. So you can take.
Give me 2.
Give you 2.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then I'm going to take 3. Okay. Nobody has higher ground. Nobody is flank attack or anything like that. Just order. No. I charged, so that gives me 2 additional dice. That's it.
So my skirmishers save on 6.
Yeah, but we got to do our hits first.
Yeah.
So,
so are yours considered superior since you're veterans?
well, so yeah, we do. Now we look down here for melee modifiers. So veterans, I go up, so I'm now hitting on 3s. That's it. So there's no modifiers for you. Okay. So you're hitting on 4s, I'm hitting on 3s.
2.
Uh, 5. So then you roll your.
And so I'm saving on 6.
You're saving on 6s, and I'm saving on 5s.
I saved 1.
I saved 9.
So there's 4 hits on mine.
4 hits on yours, but your skirmish cavalry has only 2 for fatigue, so that's double. So you pop.
He dead?
Yep. Your skirmishers. Okay.
Don't need to add that base in there.
Nope. So I do though.
Well, that means I've lost 1 die out of my pool.
2 casualties.
Correct?
Yeah. So
I took it out of there.
that's fine. All right. So that is it. Now we do army stress. So you have just your skirmish unit breaks. So you go up 1. And I go down 1 because I broke one of your units. Or removed it. That's it. So you just went up 1. All right.
And so this one's not in combat since it's not half the base. But did these guys get support from these guys?
Yeah, both of us should have had support. We forgot to add it in.
Okay. So we're even.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I guess.
That's it for me, I think, for my movements. So the rest is you.
The rest are my movements.
Yeah.
See, these guys haven't moved, and these guys haven't moved.
No,
Everybody else.
those guys didn't move. They
These
moved
guys,
sideways.
yes. These guys are the only ones that haven't moved.
Correct.
So give me those, and I can move those.
So you can add up to 2 dice for that.
And so I'm rolling for those guys.
You take the highest, so full move. For chariots is 8. No, heavy chariots is 6 inches.
And that can be sideways.
Yeah, if you go sideways, so it's half.
Half. Is that considered a half then?
Yep. Okay. All right. Anything else for you?
I don't know any other movements.
Okay. So we don't have any sustained combat. So we just go back to the initiative phase. And this is going to be considered a sustained combat.
And why is that considered a sustained combat?
Because we're still touching at the end.
Even though it's not the center.
Correct. So that's going to be a partial contact.
So even if you were butted up on ends, that's still sustained.
Corners. Yeah. All right. So hang on. So you're actually one down from me, so you actually lose a dice.
I did.
Yeah.
I already took it out.
But you lost it for him. But you lose an additional dice because your army stress is one.
So I didn't.
You can put it in there because you might get it. So now you can choose to do something during this phase. So you can choose to use this dice to lower your army stress.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will.
Okay. All right. Then there's no one else, nobody else is disordered or anything like that. So go from there. So now it is shooting phase. So we have lots of units that are within range of shooting down. Skirmishers cannot be massed together for shooting, but your infantry units can.
So these guys, that's in a sustained combat.
Right, so they can't shoot.
They cannot shoot.
Because they're in melee
But all these guys, they can shoot, but they got to do it individually.
correct.
These guys can mass shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be 45 degrees.
No, 45 from the center, basically. From the center. So
From the center. Unit?
from the center of the unit. So that's their arc,
Okay.
not from the edge. From the center. Okay.
Yep.
I will go ahead and activate these guys for shooting here. All right. Bows, long range. It is a half unit, so I begin with 3 dice. I'm at effective range, so I lose a dice. Target is skirmishers, so I lose a dice. And that's it. That's it. So just 1 dice against your skirmish unit there.
You can also add a dice too if you want.
I could if I wanted to take a dice and do it, but I'm not going to. Okay. So
1 hit.
1 hit. So you save
4.
I don't know what your skirmishers are.
Saves on the 6.
So no. So you take 1. Okay. Activate these guys for shooting here. So it's going to be the same. Nothing.
So these guys can activate to shoot.
Mm-hmm. I think you have 1 dice that you've already been holding, right?
Yeah. So I can activate 2 of them.
skirmishers or...
Yeah. Skirmishers to shoot.
Yeah, you can't activate skirmishers for a mass fire. So they have to activate individually.
So I'll activate this one.
That's fine.
And this one. So I'll roll for this one. Starts off with 3 dice.
Yeah, you're going to have the same modifiers I had. So you just end up with 1 dice for each base.
And so you got to save on a 6.
If you hit me.
And if I hit you.
Which you do. So, saving on a 6. Nope.
So the next one.
Which one are you firing at?
Straight ahead.
Okay.
Head into.
And I saved. All right.
I'll shoot.
Okay.
Which I'll shoot him.
At which one?
Straight ahead there.
Okay.
No. Shoot the next one.
We already shot these 2.
Yeah. Straight ahead. Right there.
Okay.
Hit.
Hits. And save.
I'm going to go through my dice again when you get done.
All right. I have my last one to shoot, which is going to be here to here. Oh. That's it for my shooting.
I think all these are in range, aren't they? They're in range of your Fowler, aren't they? They wanted to shoot that. So I can mass shoot all 4 of these. Correct?
Maybe. Depends on your target. So that's going to be
Yep. I can get the center.
just with them.
This one here, too, can get the center.
Yep.
So all 4 of these are shooting at that center.
Center here. Okay. So we're going to pull 4 dice for that. And you have a full base.
Yes. So it gives me 6 dice.
Okay. All right, are you pulling any dice to help you in combat? If you do, you have to pull equal amount of dice for each unit.
So I could pull 4 dice, which is going to help me
Give you 1 more dice.
1 more dice. Nah.
Okay. All right, so you're at effective range, so you lose a dice.
And so
you're not targeting skirmishers. You're mass fire, so you gain a dice. And that's it. You are, let's see, here,
hitting on 4s.
I'm looking here. Do I have shootable? No. So you're hitting on 4s.
Two hits. 2 stinking hits.
Almost average. Saving on 5s, which actually saving on 3s, I don't. Okay. Next unit. 4 hits.
Yep.
2 more hits.
This unit. Yeah, that's better.
How many?
5. Oh, that's pretty damn good too.
All but 1.
You were saving on 3s then?
Yeah. And last one.
2 hits.
fulfilled both of those. So that is going to disorder me for sure. But then I have to make a morale check against my stress level, which is only 1. So it's 2d6, but it's +3 because I'm 3 over.
So you got to roll what?
I got to roll a 4 or greater. Which I do. So they say. Okay. All right, so I think that's it.
So we're on, you've got 7 hits on there.
Mm-hmm.
So when does he just disappear?
1 more.
He's got 8 then?
Mm-hmm.
And where'd you come up with that number?
It's double his fatigue.
Okay.
Or double his full fatigue.
Those guys are 4?
Yeah.
We have definitely been an advantage to know what the other guy had too.
So now we're into movement.
Well, I haven't, these guys haven't shot.
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. Do you want to shoot them then?
Yeah. And they're going to shoot
right there. Right there? Okay.
What are these guys?
Hoplites.
And they're the weak ones, aren't they?
They're my weaker of my...
What's these guys?
Those are my light cav. Those guys are really weak. It'd be better for you to shoot at them.
I'll shoot at them.
Okay. So, again, you start off with 6 dice.
Okay.
Let's see. Your...
That's light infantry, isn't it?
Yep. So this guy is not going to have a minus. This guy is going to have a minus. Okay.
So he'll just be using 5 dice.
So, yeah.
I'll shoot him first.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's it. But you're going to be shooting at horses, so you're actually hitting on 3s.
All but 1.
Okay.
4 hits.
4 hits.
So the next group has 6 dice.
So let me roll those.
Yep.
So my light cavalry, they save on 6s, so they pretty much suck. So they take off 4, and that's it for them.
So this next group, now, if I shoot at these...
No, you can't, because you've blown your wad on that. Because you shot. You
so
fired.
these guys...
Yeah, they don't get to shoot then. Because when you master your
But
fire,
I got it. Okay. I'm going to have to say when I'm mass firing then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the reason that is...
Which I thought that's what you were doing.
That's okay. And the reason but you got to do that before combat, because just like in this case, if I said that, now I can't use them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you go down 1, which you can't go down anymore. I go up 1 because I lost a unit. And I go up another because I disordered here.
You have any extras of these? Just print it off, or
you can have it.
I mean, I don't want to take it if Scott's going to use it tomorrow.
We probably will use tomorrow. I'm going to go back in and make some adjustments to it anyways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now you're done with shooting, right?
I'll just take one when you're finished.
Now you're all done, right?
Shooting?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. These guys don't have those.
So now we're going off to movement.
Well, we got to do this same. Yeah.
That's at the very end.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, I want to do my dice again. That kind of makes sense. When I'm done.
I'll have to do my dice as well.
All right, I can move these guys. And what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to kind of line them up right here.
So basically a sidestep.
Just like this. That work? Can I do that? If I can't, tell me.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just more of a sidestep. You just
Okay.
go like that. So, okay. I'm going to try to move my skirmishers, and I get to remove one of the lowest. So they're still only moving a half. I'm going to charge these guys here. Roll against my army morale. If I don't go lower,
You lose.
well, then they're disordered. Not good. They just stay there.
Oh. These guys.
Which ones?
That's what we're doing. Two of them.
Two of them?
Straight. Go straight ahead.
Are you charging or?
Yeah, I might as well.
Okay. I think we've ever had any skirmishers charge.
So it's 2 against 2?
Well, this combat and then this combat.
Okay.
So go ahead and add that up. So it is half a base against half a base. So we have three as our base. Are you adding any dice to your combat?
Nah.
Okay. Higher ground and rears. We're both supported, so we gain dice. You charged, so you actually gain 2 dice. Okay. Oh, I guess I could have done a charge reaction.
Do what you want.
I'm going to pull 2 dice to do a hold for both of them.
That's a +1.
Yeah.
That per base then?
Yeah. So the thing about holding, though, is I get a reaction fire against you as you come in. So, all right. So that's that. All right. So then I get to do my reaction fire at you.
Now?
So, yeah. So I do 3. Target is a skirmisher, and it's reaction fire. So I only get one in each. So 1 hit here, so save.
Yeah.
No. And then here, 1 here.
No.
Okay. So you come in with 1 each.
All right.
Okay. Now, we roll our dice. So we'll start here. It's the same. Well, I'll actually have an additional modifier here because I'm supported by 2.
So I started off with 3 dice.
Yep.
Then I added 2. So I got
You
5.
add 2 more. Yes. You should have a total of 6. Because you're
I
supported.
had 6.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other versus skirmishers? So we're both hitting on 4s.
2 hits.
2 hits as well. So then 2 saves.
Save 1.
I saved 0.
Get 1 hit. Is that the one you shot at?
Yeah, that's fine.
So same number for the next one?
So that one there, let's go ahead and we finish up this combat first. So we're both disordered because we reached our fatigue, our fortitude number. However, you won combat by 1. So it's sustained combat, but I'm disordered.
And so why was I disordered?
Because you reached your fatigue, or your fortitude. Okay?
Yep.
All right, so then it's here.
Same number of die?
Mm-hmm.
Hitting on 4s?
Yep.
Yeah, that's better. 4 hits.
I hit 2 twice.
And saving on 6s.
Yeah, I'm actually saving on 5s.
I saved 1.
I saved 1. I take 3. So how many did you take?
1.
Just 1.
But I'm disordered.
Yes, I actually disappear. But you are disordered. You beat me by 2, so you can actually move forward an inch if you want.
No.
Okay. All right, mark those as green.
And what does green do?
You're charged, or you've already done your move. I go up 1.
I'm going to go down 1, but I can't.
And then you go down 1, but you go up 2 because you have 2 units that are disordered.
So then do I just go up 1?
So you go up 2, and then you go down 1. So you should be at 2. I'm at 5. All right, I'm going to charge my hoplites.
Just to this base?
Mm-hmm. So I take the highest. My charge range is out to 5. I contact you, and then I come flush. My leader came with me, though. All right, so now we add
So where did you come up with your charge range at 5?
It's whatever your base charge is, plus a die roll, plus half a die roll. So I guess it was 4.5 inches.
Where's my base charge? Is it listed on here?
It's your base movement. Whatever your base movement is, the gray.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Okay.
5.
All right.
So those are foot skirmishers is what those are?
No, these are my hoplites. So, but they're foot. They're formed foot.
Yeah.
So, okay. So
you really don't have that on that chart.
No. All right. 2, 4, 6 is our base. I'm formed. You're formed. So we gain a dice. I'm actually going to use 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm going to use 2 dice in this combat.
How many do I have left?
You have 2, 4, 6. You have 6 left.
Okay.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay. Oh, you get to choose if you want to have a charge reaction. You can hold and do a firing into me just like I did with you on my skirmishers. You could countercharge if you wanted.
And does that give me dice?
You can't actually countercharge.
Countercharge?
You can't countercharge, I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I can hold. You can choose to hold, but you have to pull a dice to do so.
And gives me a dice.
It gives you shooting first. And yes, in combat, then you also get a dice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
now I get a dice.
yes. So that's your. Put those to the side for a second. Let's do your shooting. So you start off with a base of 6,
which is what this is.
Start off with a base of 6. All right. You're firing at effective range. I'm not skirmishers. You're not mass firing, but it's a reaction fire, so -2 dice. And now you roll those.
For hits.
Yep.
Now I'm hitting on 4s. 2, 3.
3 hits. And I'm saving on 4s. I saved 2, so I'm going to take 1 coming in. Okay. All right, so back to those dice.
And what were these dice?
These are your 3 charging dice, okay? Yeah. All right, leader touching, so I gain 2 additional dice there. Neither one of us are disordered or broken, and I charged. You held. So
I get a dice.
You get a dice, yes. But you get 2 more dice because you're also supported. So you start off with 6. You held, gives you another dice. You're formed also, gives you 1 more dice. And you're supported by 2, so it gives you 2 more dice. That's it. All right. Let's see. As far as hitting goes, you're attacking. Well, I'm not veterans. You're against fouling, so you go up 1. So you're hitting on 5s. I'm hitting on 4s. Oh, you have shield wall, so we both hit on 5s. No good?
1.
Well, it wasn't that much better.
And you end up with
3.
that ain't a whole lot better. Not at what we rolled.
All right, so 3 hits, and how many did you get? Just 1. So 3 hits. I'm saving on 4s. I think you're saving on 4s too.
Light infantry?
No, you're heavy infantry. You're saving
3s.
Yeah, 3s. No, that's infantry. Just your infantry. 4s. So I'm both saving on 4s.
Save 1.
I'd save it.
So I got 2 hits on them.
I took 1.
So I lost.
No, because I took 1 coming in, so that counts as well. So we're even, completely even.
So nothing happens.
Nothing happens. We're just locked in combat. My fortitude is a 3. Your fortitude is a 3, I think, too. Our hoplites, my hoplites and your infantry are the same.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Spear and shield walls. So did the spear do any?
No.
It doesn't add anything to
against
the
horse. Against cavalry it would be nice, but I have stats, but I have spears.
It doesn't. I guess. What's the advantage of having a spear and a bow?
Spear and a bow is what you
You can shoot at distance,
right?
Sure,
but spears are better against horse,
but they're not better against infantry.
particularly infantry that have.
So what would it have done if I didn't have the spears and I just had the bows? Is it about the same thing?
Same thing in this combat, but if my cavalry charge you, then you don't have a bonus against me.
With a bow.
No, with your spear. Without your spear. Okay, so now we're still in movement.
Yeah, hold it.
All right, I'm going to try to charge my light cavalry here. Take the lowest, or we discard the lowest. So I should be able to charge in there. Not a problem. All right, this probably won't be well for me to.
So that means these guys Well, mine hasn't moved yet.
Yeah, so actually now you get to decide, are you going to hold?
And hold, it gives me dice.
Well, hold gives you the shooting attack.
Yeah. So I pull the dice.
Roll the dice. All right, so now you do your shooting attack first as I'm coming in. All right, so you start off with 6. All right, and you lose 2 because it's a reaction fire. But you're shooting against course, so it goes. You're hitting on 3s. So you just got 4 dice at hitting on 3s.
Every one.
Oh, hits.
You said it wouldn't go good.
No, it wasn't. I don't know why I didn't do it. Because I got no saves, so they just disappear.
Great. That's the flank I was wanting.
So I go up another 1, and you actually go down 1. Okay.
So we're still in movement.
Still in movement. I have no more movements. You have 3 dice if you want to spend on movement. You did spend a dice on them, so you can't activate it.
And I spent the dice by the reaction. So, all right, these guys haven't moved.
No, they did. They moved to the side.
Okay.
Remember, you readjusted.
I should have put a green one there then.
That's all we need to do.
Yeah, I
You
need
can
to
have
do
it
that.
doing that.
These guys haven't moved. So they get charged there. Let's do that.
Okay. You gotta roll your dice. You gotta roll all 3, or are you just gonna roll 2 of them?
Yeah, I'll just roll all 3.
Okay. Discard the lowest, so you got plenty of movement. All right. So
I'm
then we
charging
do,
this group.
yes. So since this guy isn't engaged, he can actually throw in more dice because of that. He's got a partial contact on him as well. So, all right. So we start off with 3 because we're half a base. Neither of us are formed. Nobody's got higher ground, attacking flanks or rears or anything like that. I'm not throwing any extra dice. However, I'm supported by 1. You're supported by 2.
So you gave me 2 dice.
2 more dice.
I'm not disordered. Broken, failed, charged. So I charge, so I get 2 dice.
Yeah, you charged. I'm going to go ahead and spend one of my dice to have them to hold, which will give me an additional attack dice, but it also is going to allow me to make a shooting attack against you.
Which you're doing now.
Which I'm doing now. And I'm actually going to do it against this guy, which I don't get anything. Okay, I think that's it. So we're just even, hitting on 4s.
I got 5 hits.
5 hits, I got 2. So
And I save on 30s or 6s.
you save on 6s, and I save on 5s. I save 2, but that's enough to pop them. I actually go up 10 and 11. Yeah.
I use the bathroom.
Yeah. And then you go down.
What's these guys?
They're other half skirmish units.
Half bases?
Yeah. All right, so now we go into the sustained combat phase, which all we have is that, and we have this.
This one?
No, those are all charges,
okay,
things like that. All right, so it's just here. So we just have partial combat contact. So I have 2 dice as my base. You have 1 dice as your base. I can add up to 2, which I will. I believe I get 1 because I'm supported. That's it.
so 1 die.
Yes. Any other? I go up. I'm hitting you on 3s. You're hitting me on 4s. Nope. I got 3 hits against you.
Sixes.
Mm-hmm.
How about men?
3 hits. 3 hits. Okay, so that disorders you. So you go up 1. All right. So we end that phase, so we probably need to redo all the dice. Yeah, because we've lost a lot. So, oh, and don't forget, disordered units do not give you
A die.
a die.
I guess does this one count as a base
Yeah,
as far as getting an extra die?
it still counts as a base. All right. So then I am, as far as our army differential goes, I'm up by 9, so I would actually lose half of my dice, so, or half rounded up, so I actually lose 5 dice because of that.
And so does your green ones leave now?
Oh, yes. And then I can choose to spend, well, we got to pull those. So as we're pulling here, we can choose to spend the dice to rally, regroup, or lower our army stress. Okay.
I'm going to use that dice to,
So you got to make the roll first. So you take that dice, and then you pick up another dice.
and I got to roll better than
Anything,
2.
yeah, anything but snake eyes. So, good. Oh, actually, he's in combat, so he has to stay disordered. I'm sorry. So this is the only unit here. No, he stays. This is the only unit here that can actually do that. So, all right.
And that was just 1 dice.
Yeah. So you're not going to spend any other dice, right? This turn. So I guess you can lower your army morale
Yeah,
or army
might as
stress
well.
if you want. Okay. Nothing else for you then? I don't think there's anything for you to do. Because all your other units are...
This isn't a... This is
morale.
No,
So,
I reckon not.
okay. I'm going to spend 4 dice to lower my army morale by 4. So that's going to go down to 7. And then I'm going to spend 1 to attempt to rally my phalanges there. Right. They're veterans, so I get a reroll if I fail. Which is good.
Still good.
Still didn't work.
So the only thing you lost in that was a die.
Yep. Okay, so now we go to shooting phase.
Yeah. These guys can shoot, right?
Yes.
At that group. So I think that's what they did earlier.
Yep. Actually, these guys are going to be closer, so you're going to have to shoot at those. It's one of these.
I can't shoot. These guys are...
They're in combat.
These two are all in combat.
And then depends on, these guys are starting to get close to where you got units that are closer to me than to you. So that's the...
And so what's that
That's
mean?
the kicker. So if they're closer to me than they are to you, then you can't fire at them because of the arc and all that stuff. So
If these are closer to here, I can't use these guys to fire.
if you can fire that. If your own units are closer to you than they are to me, then you can fire.
But if I move these up here, then I can't fire because it's going to hit those guys.
Yeah, it's intervening.
And so, how do you measure it from the center?
Yeah, whatever, edge to edge.
4 inches. 3 inches.
Right. So right now you're fine. And I'm just saying, if you charge in,
Yeah.
or you get closer.
And we're at shooting right now.
Yes.
I can actually go with these guys.
You can't shoot those guys. They're in hand-to-hand combat.
And since these guys are supporting this group, they can't do anything either.
Correct.
Yep. Never mind.
You gotta shoot. And you still got shots here and here. And then you got all those guys back there. So,
but if these guys were able to gang up on this one last time, weren't they?
yeah.
And were these guys able to shoot there then? Did you decide that?
What? These guys have to shoot here.
And these guys are going to shoot straight ahead.
These guys are going to have to shoot here.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and shoot there then.
Okay. So you start with a base of 3 dice. You're going to be at effective range, or you're going to be at close range. That's it. So you got 3 dice.
And I'm hitting you on 4s.
One hits. And I'm saving on 3s. No. Okay. I don't have any shooting, so whatever you want to do.
So I can gang all 4 of these guys up, or 3 of these guys onto that guy then. Correct?
Yep.
All right. That's what I'll do. And then I start off with 6.
6. Mass fire gives you another. But you're at long range, so it takes you down to 1, or it takes a long way from 1. Okay. That's it.
And so I'm hitting on 4s. Got 2 hits.
2 hits. Save both. Here, you get 3.
Oh,
3 guys, guy.
so I still lose the 1.
Yeah, you are. It's the same dice.
Yeah.
Same number of dice. As you just roll.
3.
Saves on 3s. Got all of them.
Next one. 3.
Saved all.
No way.
I just rolled it.
That's fantasy land there.
Yeah. Well, you got a really good roll last time because you did 7
I only need 1 hit.
casualties, but you didn't get it. So, sorry.
1 hit, and you rolled 9 dice.
No, I rolled 8 dice.
Oh, 8 dice. And I didn't get 1 hit.
Nope.
You are a lucky ass.
So are you. Any other shooting? I don't think you really have any. Okay, so now we go to movements.
In charge.
Yes.
All right. Can these guys charge straight ahead?
Well, the problem is you got.
All right. That's what I'm asking. If they overlap the base, they can't do it at all.
No, I'm just trying to think about it. So, yeah, I think you can charge straight ahead. You can get this. And then you can't do that, but you can do that.
And so he's still in the charge.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't push you back,
But we both have partial contacts here.
so what's that mean? What are you telling me?
That's just, we roll less dice, but we're still attacking each other.
And then my leader moves with them.
Uh-huh.
And I can attach him to either one.
Yeah.
I don't know what the advantage of one or the other would be.
So go ahead and roll your dice. Just don't get all ones.
Close.
Close. Okay. So
Dice.
which one do you want to do first?
Let's do that one.
Okay.
Straight ahead.
So we both have 6 dice total.
Okay.
2, 6. All right. Are you adding in any more dice from the pool?
Yeah, let me add 1.
1? I'm adding 3. Okay.
It's a formed unit.
Formed unit. Yes. So 1 more. Supported. Both of us are supported.
So add 1 more.
Mhm.
Or do I add 2 more? Since I've got 2 units there.
No, it's just this combat right here. So it's just 1. You're supported by 1 here. That's it. You charged.
Yeah, but then I want to ask you this. This guy is supporting these guys, and these guys aren't touching.
You're not touching this unit or this unit. This is your main attack unit right here.
So those are the only, like over here, these guys didn't support those guys because they wasn't touching. Gotcha. Okay.
All right. So you got support, and then did you add in 2 for the charge?
Nope. 2 for the charge plus 2 for the base or the
2
leader.
for the leader. Yeah. That's it.
Not enough.
We're both hitting on 4s.
Three frickin' hits.
That's bad. I got 5. So I saved though on 5s. You save on 3s.
Save 3 of them.
Save 1. Or save 2 actually. So
I lost the combat.
you lost combat.
So this goes up 1.
You lost it by 1, so you are disordered, yes. This goes down 1.
And then do I have to move back?
No, because you only lost by 1. So we're just locked. All right, here.
Start off with 6 die.
Nope. You start off with a partial. So you got 2 dice. I got 2 dice. Then,
Now is this the sustained combat?
no. I mean, it becomes a different combat because you charged it. Both of us, I'm supported by 1. You're supported by 2. And you got support here and here. Okay? So you got 2 more dice. Your leader's not touching. You're not flank or anything like that. You charged, so you gain 2. Are you going to add any dice to the combat?
Yeah, give me 2.
And I'll use mine for 2 as well. All right. So same thing. We're hitting on 4s.
We have 5 hits.
I got 3. I'm saving on 5s. You're saving on 3s.
Save 2. You save it.
I didn't save any.
I end up with 2 hits. And am I disordered? 2 hits?
No, I don't think
No.
so. So I took 5 hits because I didn't save any. So it's a difference of 3. So I'm disordered. I push back 2 inches. So I would
don't have anything to push back.
I would be here. So you can actually, if you want, move your charging unit here if you wanted to.
Can I move him less than that?
No.
Then I'll stay where I'm at.
All right. So I lost the combat and I lost a unit. I'm back up to 7. Okay.
And we're still in movement and charge, right?
Yep. I have no more dice left. So it's just you.
I'm going to take 4 dice and move these guys.
I'm going to mark these guys in green. Oh, I actually had 2 dice left on that.
So I am rolling for these guys to move. And on movement, I have to do what now? Move up to 6 inches.
Who you moving? Your chariots? Yeah.
Chariots.
So you can move up to 3 inches. So basically, well, if you're moving sideways, you can move 1.5 inches.
These guys.
So we're taking 3 more dice for them.
Yeah. And I think you gave them to me.
Oh, so we need another dice for your chariots.
So they can move half.
Yes.
And they're just going sideways too. So they can move up to 1.5 inches.
They can move 2 inches. All right. Anything else? Any other movements for you? So now we move into sustained combat, which is right here. You have a total of 4 dice left over. I have a total of 2 dice left over. So you can spend up to 3 of those dice.
I'm going to spend 1 to knock that down.
No.
No?
Not right now. So 2, 4, 6 is our base. You have a base of 6 as well. Okay.
These are the 3 dice I had left over.
Yep. And then you can add those 3 dice. I'm adding my 2 dice. We are both formed units.
So 1 die.
1 die. I have a leader touching. Either of us are disordered or broken, and that's it. I'm phalanx, so you are hitting me on 5s. I'm hitting you on 4s, or you're shield wall. So we're both hitting on 5s. 4, 6. I'm saving on 4s. You're saving on 4s.
Got 1 hit, 3.
You saved all?
Yep. All but 1 hit.
Same thing with me. However,
even.
Yeah, even, but I believe both of us are disordered now.
And why is that?
Because we're both at our 42 number. So you go up to 3, I go up to 8. All right, that was our only sustained combat. So there's nothing else. So now we add up our dice again. So remember, disordered units do not give you an additional dice.
But disordered units count from the 4 total.
Correct. I lose 3 dice because of a stress difference. You can attempt to rally this unit if you want. They are on combat.
And so rally him costs me a dice. And then I got to roll this.
Yeah, but I got to do it by pull here first.
Yeah.
I'm going to blow that to lower my morale by 1.
So I can attempt to rally him.
No, him. He's the only one that's not in combat.
Okay. And so I got to roll anything but that.
Yes. All right. Any other rallies, or are you going to lower your army morale or anything? You don't have any other rallies.
These guys aren't in combat.
They are in combat, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's sustained combat, right?
Right.
So I can try and rally him.
No, you can't. If they're in combat, they can't be.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll lower this to 2.
I'm gonna spend that to lower it. 6. I'm not going to do anything else. You can spend one more dice to lower your army stress if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, then we go into shooting. I don't have any shooting. How about you?
Yeah. I've got these guys.
This guy, this guy, this guy, and then those 3.
So I think 3 of these can shoot there.
No. These guys can shoot here. These guys can shoot here, here. These guys can shoot here, here. And then these 3 guys could shoot here if they wanted.
Let's, for shits and giggles, let's do these 3 first.
Okay. So you count up your bases. You got 6 is your base number. You have, you're at effective range, so it's a -1. But you are massing your fire, so that's an additional 1. And that is it. So it should be just basically 6.
Yep.
I guess you could also spend initiative dice if you wanted to add to the combat. But you have to spend equal amounts on each of your units there.
I'm not.
Okay.
Because I'm going to get it this time.
Okay. Roll your dice.
4s, right?
Yes.
2.
2. One got through.
For now.
Yep.
Yay.
So it goes up to 7, 8. Okay.
Now,
Any other shooting?
yeah, wait a minute. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So these guys can shoot
Mm-hmm.
here.
Yep.
And so they get 3 dice to start with.
Start with 3 dice, yes. It's the green, not the red. Your
Effective range.
Yep. That's it. 3 dice. Which one are you shooting at?
This one.
Okay.
2 hits.
2 hits. And I saved 1.
So those guys are shot, right?
Yep. And over here.
They're going to shoot straight ahead.
Okay. 3 dice.
Oh no, let's shoot there.
All right. 3 dice.
Nothing.
And then here.
They can shoot.
Mm-hmm.
We'll shoot it. That one.
You have to shoot here.
Okay. So he's shooting over there.
Mm-hmm.
3 dice still.
Mm-hmm.
2 hits.
Saved both. All right. So then we go into melee. So you can take up the greens. Or we go into movements.
Are we just putting greens down for movement?
Yeah. They're in their charges. There's 1 dice for you. gonna charge these guys. All right, so my base is a 6. 6. I'm not spending any extra dice. I am supported by 2.
So even if they're in combat, they're still supporting that group.
Yeah. As long as they're touching my base and everything. These guys should be disordered, and so should those guys, because they reach their limit, their fortitude. So you should have disorder markers on.
I thought I bought some though.
Well, these guys couldn't have rallied. These guys could have. These guys probably rallied. So, yeah. Okay. That's it. I charged, and I do have a leader touching my base. All right. You lose 2 because you're disordered. All right. You're hitting me on 5s. I'm hitting you on 4s. Or I'm hitting you on 3s.
One hit.
No, I'm actually hitting you on 3s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I did not save.
I gotta have all 6s.
Yep.
Nope.
Oh,
A lot of them though.
I'll give you a lot of them.
So both units are gone.
No, just this one. And now we go here. This combat. So 6 dice to begin with. For me, 3 for you. I am supported by 1.
I'm not.
You are not. I charged. And that's it.
I got 3.
You're hitting him on 5s. I'm hitting you on 3s.
And then 6.
6, yeah.
Gotta have all 6s. Yep. About then. So they're gone.
Mm-hmm. So you should go up to, so you should be at 3 and I'm down to 5. All right. You got 2 dice still out there.
We're on charges and movement, right?
Yes. Movements and charges.
I'll move these guys. Discard the low one. Might get half movement. And half movement is 2 inches.
Correct.
Okay, so I can move and I can charge.
Who?
I can charge these guys to here. See those cavalry?
Yeah, you can actually charge the flank because you start behind his front. So
That's what I'm doing.
you do
Wanted
that,
to do.
and then you hit it like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So, okay. So roll the dice just to make sure you don't get double 0s, double 1s or something. So you're good. Okay. So we count up our...
That's my heavy cab.
Yep. So we start off with 6s, 6 dice each.
Okay.
We're both formed. So we get a +1. You're attacking the flank, so you gain 2. I'm supported by 1. You're not supported. I'm not disordered or anything like that. You charged, so you gain 2. So, spirits versus cavalry, I would go to 3. However, no, that's it. So you go up, though. So we're both hitting on 3s.
I'm hitting on 3s. Can I have dice, too?
Oh, yeah. If you want to add in dice, you can. How many dice you want to add?
Give me 1.
Just 1? I'm going to add in 2.
And I'm hitting you on 3s.
You're hitting me on 3s, I'm hitting you on 3s.
$10.
10, 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 for you. I'm saving on 3s, you're saving on 3s.
Threes are better, right?
3s are better.
You got 2 hits come through.
That came through. I'm disordered. I'm going to lose. All right, so you won by 2. So disordered, push back, and you must follow.
So if you're pushed back, I just go straight ahead, and we're in combat again.
Well, we become sustained, basically. So the question is what happens here?
How can you push back and move over at the same time?
Right. So, but I'm fleeing from you.
How many inches do you have to move?
An inch.
How can you do that?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what would happen here?
Well, if you move back an inch, you're still going to be in contact with me.
Right.
So you have to move back and then just move over a little bit, don't you?
I would say I just move back, and that's it.
And we're still connected?
And we're still like that. You still on my flank, and I'm just moved. Yeah. I think that's the best solution. I go up 1, you go down 1. Okay. Anything else?
Movement? I got to roll. I got to beat 2.
I don't understand much movement. Why would you need to be 2?
Don't you have to do this?
No. It's just you roll your dice and you see what that single dice is. 4 or higher, you can do the full movement.
So would I be able to move him to the end of the stick even if my leader's there?
Now, if you're moving sideways, you can only move half.
Oh. Wait a minute. All right. Never mind.
Got a third one. That's it. I'm going to try to charge these guys straight ahead. Okay.
All right, wait a minute, let me think here.
You could actually turn these guys on the flank if you wanted.
Well, I could have done that with one though, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, can I do this? Can I move these three forward and then turn this one to the flank?
Yep. Yep. No, you can't do that as a unified movement.
Well, I've got 4 dice.
Right. So you can move these 4 with your leader forward if you want.
But I can't split my dice.
Correct.
Well, it's not really splitting my dice because there's 4 units here.
Right, but it's splitting the movement. So to hold dice, you got to use all of your dice at the same time for a coordinated movement.
So how do I get these guys if I want to move? I want to retreat these
Mm-hmm.
2.
Yeah.
Can I move them straight back then?
Yeah.
Or does it have to go about face and then another about face?
No, you can move back a half, but these guys are in combat.
Mm-hmm. But these guys aren't.
Right, but they're not. These guys are skirmishers too, so they can also withdraw pretty easily.
So they can withdraw now?
Yeah. You got 4 dice there.
I'm going to move these 3 guys forward.
Okay.
So I need to roll, see if I can, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 dice, 4 dice.
4 dice. You take the lowest one away.
So it's still just half a movement.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually butted right up against my chariots.
Anything else?
No. Now I can use this to rotate.
Mm-hmm. If you want, gotta do it and roll anything but a 1.
Like that.
Mm-hmm. And that counts as a charge. All right, so we have a base of 6. However, you've got 2 bases that can get 6 on me, so you have a total of 12.
Total 12 dice.
Mm-hmm. So far. Then we're both formed units, so we add 1. And then you add another 1 for your other unit. I have a general, so I get 2. You are attacking my flank, so you gain 2 more dice. I'm attacking to my flank, so I lose 2 dice.
You're just
Actually, I don't, because I'm also attacking to my front. So I'm disordered, so I lose a dice. You're disordered, you lose 1 dice. Or 2 dice, actually. You charge, so you gain 2 dice. Let's see. I'm down, you're down. We're both hitting on 5s.
Can't believe that. Look at that.
It's good rolling. So I hit 3. You hit how many? 5. So I'm saving on 3s. You're saving on 4s.
I saved 2. 1 got through.
I saved all. 1 got through.
Yeah.
All right. So you decide who takes it. Okay. So I actually won the combat. So you lose. Your other unit is disordered as well. And I go down 1. And you go up 1. Okay.
I'm happy with that.
That's it. I think we're all done with our those. That goes into this combat now. So now we just have our sustained, which are here and here. So we have to resolve those. So here, we both have 6. Neither are supported. You have your general, so you gain 2. However, you're disordered, so you lose 2. That's it.
And we're hitting on 4s.
Hitting on 4s, yes.
3.
3? I got 2. So I'm saving on 5s, you're saving on 3s.
Saved 1 of them.
I saved 2 of them. So I took 1 more. How many did you take?
1.
1, so it's just an even up. All right, here. So skirmishers, 3. 3, we're both disordered, so we lose 2. That's it. So we both have 1, and we're both hitting on 5s.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. So now we count up our dice again. Remember, disordered units do not count. All right, difference now of 2, so I lose 2 dice right off the bat. Or actually, I just lose 1 because it's just a turn. 2. So okay, so now we're in morale. You don't have any units that are not in combat to undisorder, but you can't spend any to lower yours. I can, which I will.
And why wasn't I able to lower 1?
Because you have the lower one. I don't have any others that I can rally, so now it just goes to shooting. I don't have any shooting.
I do.
Yep. So what do you want to activate to shoot?
Well, let's activate these guys to shoot here.
Okay.
And they start off with 3 dice. Right?
3 dice. Where are you shooting at?
Here.
Can't shoot them because they're in combat, but you can shoot
them.
Okay.
Effective range, add 1.
No, it's -1 at effective range, but you're in close range, so you're good. All right. That's it.
Now I can add 1 dice.
Yeah, you can choose to spend extra dice. Okay. You're hitting on 4s.
3.
3. Saving on 3s. It's a single 1. So that disorders me. And I have to take a morale. All right, so I'm 1 over my thing, so it's a +1 or -1 to my roll. I got to be a 4. I do not. So they run. So they're broken, or actually they're veterans. They're veterans, so I get to reroll that. I'm glad I did that. Okay.
You ready to give up yet?
No. Okay. Any other shooting? You got other shooting?
Yeah. I'm going to shoot. Each take these 2. Shoot here. Right. Those guys probably can't do it. Yeah, I can do it. Don't you think? These 3 units shooting there.
Okay.
Start off with 6 dice. Yes. Maybe 1 inch.
Yep. Okay.
So I'm starting off with
we shouldn't hear, right?
Yeah.
So, yep.
6 dice.
6 dice. You're mass firing, so that gives you an additional 1. You added in.
Added 2. Gives me an additional 2.
No, you just added 1. You're firing 3 units. So that's 1. And that's it.
So 6. Mass shooting is 1. And added 1. Now I'm hitting you on 4s. 5 hits.
5 hits. 3 hits on them, so that's enough to pop them.
So does the leader die since he was attached?
No, I gotta roll for the leader. No.
What's it take for him to die?
A lot.
Are you using the morale when you do that, or how did you know?
Yeah, I use the morale.
So if you roll...
If I roll above the morale.
Above the morale, he's saved.
Okay, above the stress. All right.
So these 3 have shot.
You don't have any other... well, you got this guy who can shoot. That guy's in this combat, technically.
Okay. Oh, then he'll shoot.
Okay.
Straight ahead. Got 1 dice.
Yep.
Right.
Actually, no, he's going to have 3.
3?
Yeah.
3
shooting
dice.
Here or shooting here?
Let's shoot here.
Okay.
2 hits.
2 hits. No saves.
Oh, worth it.
Okay. I think that's it for shooting.
It is. now we're moving and charging.
Yep.
So if I use that die to charge these guys there, can that be done? And then does that activate this part of the charge too?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's all one combat. Yeah, you can charge them.
So they're like this.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't negate my flank, does it?
No. You can roll them. Roll the dice. You need to get anything but a 1. I'll mark them as moves. I'm going to go ahead and go here. All right. So it's really just this combat here. So I start off with 6. You start off with 3. All right. I'm formed. You're not. Nobody's attacking anything. I'm not going to use any of my dice. Neither of us are disordered.
I'm not supported.
You are supported, and I'm supported as well. I did charge. That's it. You're hitting on 5s. I'm hitting on 4s.
One hit.
4 hits. Saving on 3s.
6s. Nope.
So you pop.
Yep.
I won the combats. You go up 1. Okay. I have no ability to charge or move right now. Well, I guess I can move my leader.
I got movement, I guess. These guys, can they go through the infantry? They can't go through the infantry.
Can't charge through the infantry. You can move through the infantry. Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to try and move through the infantry.
All right.
So I roll this, and it's got to be...
You just roll it, and you don't get a 1.
I got a 1.
So you can move half, which for you is 3 inches. So you can basically
get over them.
Get over them. I'm going to activate my leader, and he's just going to come into contact with them. All right. That's it for my...
So I've still got dice, right?
Yep. That's it for my movements.
So these guys can move, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to move sideways.
All 3 of them?
Yes. So I take 3 dice, discard the low one.
No, you keep the low one.
4. So it's half movement.
No, it's a full movement.
Full movement. So sideways is half though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's 2 inches. Correct.
Mm-hmm. It's because it just danced the whole time.
Yep. Just kind of where they see they might be needed.
Okay.
Flank don't look too tough right now.
You just got 2 more dice left.
And
you could charge this guy into this flank for 1 die, or
So if I charge him into that flank, it's going to leave his flank exposed, right?
Mm-hmm. Or you could activate 2 of these to move 2 or something. I don't know how, but
yeah.
Or you can just save them for a sustained combat phase. Because I clearly am going to have plenty of dice to use.
So if I did move and charge, that activates this whole charge again?
Yeah, that's combat again.
And so you have to get 6, right? 6
my hoplites. Yep, 6 hits and I'm, or 3 more hits and I'm dead. 3 more
hits and you're dead?
Yep.
And then that leaves him. I got these guys can suck up that hole. Let's try that.
Okay, roll dice. Make sure you don't get a 1.
I'm not going to. Out. 3.
Okay. So that's it. Are you going to use your dice to give you a bonus in this combat?
Yes.
All right. So we'll add up the combats.
These 6 to start with.
Both have 6 dice. So 2, 4, 6. I got a leader, so that's 2. You have 18 dice to begin with, because you get 3 full units on me. And then you add an extra dice for the combat. Then you gain an extra dice. 2 more dice for your flank. 2 more dice for the other flank. I lose a total of 4 dice because I'm being attacked in both of my flanks.
And do I get a 2 for charging?
Yes, you get a 2 for charging. You lose 4 though because you're disordered. 2 of your units are disordered. And I lose 2 because my unit is disordered.
So that's it?
That is it.
I'm hitting you on 4s?
You're hitting me on 4s and I'm hitting you on 4s.
That's pathetic.
1 more.
1 more. 3, 6, 7, 8.
8.
So you got 1.
I got, yes, 1.
Saving on.
You're saving on 4s, I'm saving on 4s.
Nope.
So
1 hit.
2. So you got 8 on me?
Yeah.
All right. That's it. I think I'll probably call it that.
Roll for your leader.
Saved them.
All right. So what I was going to try to get these guys to do was go and get into there.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. I can't believe I did that good.
Yeah, your archery did a lot of damage at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Once I kind of got behind on army stress, I really couldn't keep up.
No, and that's what killed me the other day too.
Mm-hmm. It's better. It's not as tough, but still need to work on a little bit. Some fine-tuning stuff.
So you think it's got too much to say about stuff? Is that what you're thinking?
No. I think the army adjustments are okay. The army stress those are okay. It's couple of the shooting things and whatnot. I think I still need to adjust. So
I do like the fact that it feels like you're doing an army.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
It's a good game. I like it. Think you can do Civil War in this?